Morning, fellow zombies. Are we alive yet? Are we awake yet? I should be back in bed sleeping on this stuff, but no, I've got it on KTLA Channel 5 watching last year's clips of what the parade was like. I missed the parade. This is your zombie out here, the Weaver Agency of Roseman, California, not alive, not awake, and wondering what the hell he's still doing up. It's still the 1st of January 2024. It's 4:48 in the morning, West Coast time. And yes, copy. I missed the Rose Parade. I've been a couple of times in my life. Shout out to Artist in Recovery. Morning, dude. I don't know if you're a parade watcher, but I'm a parade watcher. Been a lifer like that for a long while. My family would watch it. We'd talk about it, and we kept talking about times we would try to get out there to see it. My brother and I had twice. Ma wouldn't be able to deal with this one. But Dave and I did. And then one time we did it with ourselves, but we also did it with family another time. And with that family we had, uh, I was suffering through a lot more nasal issues here. Busted this damn thing when I was a kid. Had an accident, really busted a nose. That'd be worse. So, yeah, you're talking about breathing issues out of this damn thing. Whenever this thing would get stuffed up like crazy, I mean, the mucous membranes in there and the muscles would just contract, just expand. And it would be hard as hell for me to breathe. So I had to take a tissue and start blowing like crazy. And I'd sound just as bad as a cruise horn would. Close up. My brother would call me foghorn. But at least he didn't call me foghorn leghorn. I say. But yeah, we did a camp out once with relatives. My brother just got off of a shift. I think he was working security or something. And we just packed up the car, and then he had to drive every one of us to. I mean, this was back, what the hell, when was this again? Oh, yeah. It's between 90 and 91 during those days. Okay. A couple of nephew, nieces, and then the cousins. Okay. Husband and wife. And we'd go. We would go to Pasadena. We'd go to the supermarket. We'd pack up things. We'd pack up food. We'd get blankets. We would get things to sleep on. Everything packed up in our car. My brother had a. What the hell did he have? Crown Victoria. Yeah. He had a used Crown Vic. Uh, and we'd pack the thing up. He'd work for a patrol company, a security patrol company, and he used a vehicle. We packed the trunk up like crazy, packed it tight. We got over to a spot right by the areas. I'd have a couple of books with me, a couple of paperbacks. What the hell? That's what I do. When I was a lot younger, I read a lot like crazy. And I kept a couple of paperbacks in my back pocket. But for this experience, yeah, it came in handy. I miss those books. Anyway, we would go along the street close to the area, and we would camp out along the street. We were allowed to do that. During the time when we would homeless people would actually camp out in different areas. Nighttime was rotting up. 2 hours of sleep. 2 hours of sleep. And that was hard as hell to deal with. 2 or 3 hours of sleep. They'd be partying up all night. We'd find a spot along campgrounds. No, that was one particular area. I didn't blow when they were there. As I said before, I've been out there twice. One with family, one with yacht. We moved the area in that one time with the family from the sidewalk, and we moved it up to the parade area where we were actually able to line up. And people would celebrate like crazy, yelling, screaming, and run around and be jackasses and stuff. And then here it comes. The nose gets stuffed up. We're trying to sleep. Some people still want to yell and party and just say, "Yeah, it's this year." I couldn't sleep. I got this one asshole with a boombox, and I had grabbed some tissue with me, package or two, and I'm using them up like crazy. I'm just what? And I get the other one. I go what? I crank it up the boombox. These guys were just walking around with this boombox, just cranking it up to the max, and I can't breathe. I got to get some relief from my nose. Get the tissue and just what? And then the other one go what? Pissed them off enough where the guys walked out pissed off, grumbling at me and stuff. They didn't start a fight. They didn't want to start a fight. If they started a fight, they'd have a lot of people on their ass. Next thing I hear, as soon as I get barely cleaned up, I'm just going to be laying down to sleep. I'm hearing this for about a minute or two. I go, what? My nose is plugged. I never could deal with it out there. My brother and I made the decision of going over to see the floats the next day. And that was the thing that we took Ma out for a few times. We took her out quite a few times in her lifetime. We'd get her wheelchair going. She would either get an electric scooter or else we had the manual wheelchair for her at the time. We'd get there early enough, about 6 or 7 in the morning. We'd already had breakfast out there. I mean, not in Pasadena, but we'd already had breakfast along the way. And then here we go. It was just crazy during those days. But we'd get there early enough to get to the handicapped area, get to the handicapped viewing, so we would be able to get over there. And it's a hell of a walk from the parking, which we had to pay for, naturally. Cold as hell, but Ma would deal with it. It bundled her like crazy sometimes. And we'd push her. Or else we would have the we would have the scooters charged up. I don't think she did it with the electric wheelchair, just a scooter. That thing was a beast to put together, I tell you. Several pieces on this one. You try putting it together by yourself. Whoop. Hard. But doable. And we'd take about 2 or 3 hours up and down slowly, getting pictures as much as we could. Polaroid shots like crazy. I don't know if I still have those things anymore. With the advent of camera phones, I made one particular visit that we had a lot easier. We'd store them digitally. Of course, we'd buy a couple of their snap cameras, Kodaks, and have those things developed. And me, I always like looking at the pins. Get a pin or two. But as we're going back over there, as we're doing these kind of things, it's just, I'm not quite so sure if I'd be able to do it back myself. But I'll tell you, these guys are amazing to talk to. The docents, the volunteers, that give you a lot of information concerning about the floats like crazy. But it was really cool. Last year, Danny Trejo was out there. That's one guy I'd like to meet and talk to. Talk about recovery. But I'm not quite sure if I'm ready to go out there again and deal with that kind of insanity. I mean, it was for the youth. Yeah, I can understand that. It's something when you want to see the parade at a younger age. At an older fart age, forget it. The body's going to say, "I can't deal with this." One way or another, it says, "I can't deal with this." And even waking up in the morning and you have people screaming and yelling their heads off at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. No, I'm not going to do that again. Ever. No. But it was fun while it was. Every once in a while, I get a hankering if I had the money for it to give me a couple of more pins if I found that they were of interesting design. You can hardly see them anymore on eBay. But I thought I'd talk about Rose Parade experiences. They really didn't allow that many street vendors the last time I was over there, and that was a few decades ago. But they would have the street vendors, if they were sanctioned vendors, at the food court area during the viewing times. And they would. They'd line up in those kind of areas. But in the parade area, you bring your own food. I mean, you can bring in your own Chester in those days, back in the 90s and 2000. Bring lunch meats if you had to, packets of, well, you bring whatever kind of food you could. In this particular situation, they would allow the grills, small grills, little barbecues or something like that. Hot drinks you probably bring in the thermoses left and right for it. But yeah, it's an experience once in a lifetime. I did it twice and seen the parades a few times. Seen the floats a few times. So it's cool. It's cool to see this kind of stuff. On one screen right now, I'm watching the replay of last year's. It was 134th Rose Parade. It's been out there for a long while with a different. They always have something different and interesting when it comes down for their floats. It's always interesting to see these things. I just like watching them. There was even last year that they did this Transformers thing, and that was freaky enough. I wouldn't want to be these kind of guys driving these damn things. That's for damn sure. Cramped as hell. I don't think I'd be able to deal with it. But if you had a chance, maybe next year, Go out and see the parade. Camp it out if you had to. Just keep track of the weather, okay? Just keep track of the weather. Most of the time, for nearly 99 point some odd percentage, they would have clear enough weather. Cold, but clear. And make sure that you do it with a group. Because with a group, it'll be safer. If not, you're in for it, pal. Okay. I guess that's enough for me ranting and raving this morning. Let's hope and pray 2024 is a lot kinder to us these days. Happy New Year.